Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for October 18, 2023, the Not Reckless edition. And we begin with that story from Reuters that Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyers say FTX investments were not reckless. Yes, the lawyers on Thursday said the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange investments were not reckless and frivolous, pushing back on testimony portraying its spending on marketing celebrity endorsements as excessive. Sam Bankman-Fried continued to spend literally billions on marketing and endorsements right up until the time he went bankrupt. Next up, from the Financial Times, in a very interesting article, an activist investor Starboard says that a News Corp breakup could unlock $7 billion. That's $1 billion in value. Starboard Value has built up a stake in News Corp and is pushing for billionaire owner Rupert Murdoch to break up the company as Lega Mediacy groups face mounting pressure from shareholders to improve performance. The activist hedge funds stated its position at a news conference saying that News Corp's stock valuation does not make sense. Well, if you can break up News Corp, you can probably do a lot of things. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Next up, from New York Times Deal Book, Davos in the desert. Business leaders confront a dilemma over this conference, with President Biden preparing to visit Israel on Wednesday, and of course the terrible tragedy in Gaza today. Some top CEOs are confronting a tricky reputational question, whether to attend the Future Investment Initiative, the high-profile conference in Saudi Arabia known as Davos in the Desert. The annual event is scheduled to start on October 25th. And our final story today comes to us from Bloomberg. And if you've been thinking about compliant communications, well, HSBC has instituted a blocking staff from texting on their work phones policy. It's the latest fallout from regulatory probes on the industry's use of unauthorized communications methods. The firm is in the process of disabling the functions on employees' issued phones, meaning they will be unable to receive or send texts. I don't know about you, but that would certainly upset my wife and my children if they did text me. But it's a very, very aggressive approach to becoming compliant in your communications. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.